Hey y'all, Rick Sky here, and a lot of you have asked me, you're like, hey man, is the Tello a toy? Now, when I first ordered my Tello, and you can check the link within this video's description to find where to order the Tello online, but when I first ordered my Tello, I had somewhat low expectations, and that was, number one, based primarily off of the price point. If you're familiar with the drone hobby, you know it's somewhat expensive, but this particular drone, the price of it seemed to be really low, so that concerned me. You know, what's missing? What am I not getting in the Tello that I'm getting within the larger drones? And I'll go ahead and point those out. Number one, you're not getting the size and weight. And check out my other video where I weigh this. At the time of posting this video, I've not yet weighed the Tello, but it should come well under half pound. So, you know, unless regulations change, it may still be classified as a toy. So from that perspective, it's different from a lot of the other drones on the market. The camera, although it has a camera, obviously it does not do 4K, but it also doesn't have a gimbal. So you're not going to get the gimbal stabilized video like you will with the larger drones. It does have prop guards, that's nice. It does not have GPS, so you know, getting that ultra smooth GPS assisted flight, that's not something you're going to get with Tello. But is Tello really a toy? Here's what I've done, and you can check out my other videos. Check the link within this video's description to find those videos. But I've taken this out, and right now it's still really windy. I've taken this out in gusts as high as like 12.6 knots, and it was able to stay airborne. Sure, if you watch my first in the field test with the Tello, you'll see that I crashed a couple of times upon takeoff because the wind gusts were so strong. But it seemed like once this got in the air, well, it didn't seem, it was. Once it got in the air, it didn't crash. And I was monitoring the wind speed with my anemometer. So that's quite impressive. Now that was something that was completely unexpected when I took the Tello up in the air in considerable amount of wind. So I was shocked, and that's something that leads me to believe that this is not simply your toy category drone, even though it comes in at that price point. The other thing worth mentioning is that this is made by a company called Rise Technology in close collaboration with DJI. So when you look at this drone closely, DJI's DNA is clearly visible. The design of the drone, on the top, the belly, the prop guards, the motors, everything. When you look at this, it's obvious that it's got DJI's DNA. Now what they've done with this drone that has really impressed me and really put a huge smile on my face is they've included this little port right here. I think they call that a micro USB. It's the same style USB port that's on my Sony Alpha camera that I'm filming with here. What's super cool about that is that I can recharge in the field with a USB battery bank, a USB solar panel, a USB cable connected into my car or my boat. I can recharge, and I don't have to buy expensive car charger or a proprietary charging cable. I can just use my generic USB cable that charges my camera. Whoa, the wind's blowing over my field monitor. It's windy out here. But I can simply use that, and I don't have to buy all this other junk. So that's super nice. I wish DJI would do that on their big drones. That is super convenient. The flight dynamics of this. If you've flown DJI drones like I have, and you can check out my hundreds of videos, actually thousands, all the way from Phantom 1 through present, Mavic Air being currently, at the time of filming this, my favorite drone on the market today. But the handling of this, if you're very familiar with other DJI drones, you'll probably be able to pick this up, install the Tello app, and feel right at home. You know, there's nothing that would feel out of the ordinary. You know, if you've flown those drones, this feels very similar. And that's important because even though this may be categorized as a toy, I look at it as a tool. This is something that someone can pick up affordably. Again, check the link within this video's description, or just go to iricksky.com. You can go to the drone store there and you can find it. But it's a tool that should enable someone to say, hey, do I like the drone hobby or do I not? It's not a lot of money out of pocket for most people, and it's something someone could pick up, have a good time with, but also understand the flight dynamics of DJI drones. So if you like this, it would be a natural segue into a more expensive drone if you want to become more serious about the drone hobby. So it's a really cool thing. And I mean, I always have, I'm having to hold my field monitor here because of the wind, but I always try to have, I do have realistic expectations. Any sort of new drone or drone accessory that comes out. And I will tell you, before I took this out in the field, I had very low expectations. I didn't think this was going to impress, but this has exceeded my expectations. And again, I don't want you to misconstrue that and say, oh, he's saying that Tello is something it's not. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that Tello is more than just a toy. Tello is something that most anyone could pick up, have a good time with. You know, if they lose it or it breaks, it's not a huge amount of money lost for most people. So it's a great way to have fun, but also determine, hey, do I really like the drone hobby? Do I want to invest more heavily within the drone hobby and get the bigger DJI drones? Because if you learn how to fly this, you'll probably feel right at home with the bigger drones. And obviously the flight dynamics of the bigger drones is going to feel a lot better because those drones are, they're GPS assisted. Most all of them are GPS assisted. And this uses visual sensing, which I found works quite well. I've flown it indoors, check out my indoor test flight. But also, the biggest thing again for me was taking the Tello outside for the first time in wind gust of moderate speed and seeing how well that it handles in real world conditions that are windy. So super good stuff. I'm not going to classify Tello as a toy. So if you want to share my classification with others, feel free to do so. I'm not going to call the Tello a toy. I'm going to call the Tello let's think of the best way. And again, none of this is scripted or anything. I just come up with it on the fly. So I'm going to call the Tello the starter kit for the drone hobby. The starter kit for the drone hobby, meaning that if someone picks up the Tello, and again, check out my website or check the link within this video's description. If someone picks up the Tello, then they will probably know, I hate the hobby of flying drones, or man, this is so much fun, I already want to get something better. Or they say, you know what, I enjoy it, this has a camera on it, I don't care about super high duper photo quality or super high duper video quality, this is more than enough, I can entertain myself, I can entertain my friends, my family, that's all I need. And you may not want anything more than the Tello, and that's perfectly acceptable. But the Tello, in my opinion, in my professional opinion, and again, I've been flying drones since Phantom 1, in my professional opinion, the Tello is worth every penny. So tell me what you think about the Tello. Have you flown the Tello? Do you share some of the same opinions? Do you have different opinions? Tell me what you think within the comments below this video. And be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. It's youtube.com/IRIXGuy. And check out all my other Tello and other drone videos too. Y'all have a good day. Hey y'all, IRIXGuy here. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe, like, and share. It's viewers like you that enable my channel to continue to grow. Thank you.